morning routine that helps you feel calm. Before you check your phone, try this. Welcome back to Soulful Tales Studio. Daniel woke up before the alarm. His eyes opened, but his body did not feel ready. The room was still dark. The air felt heavy. He lay in bed and listened to the quiet sound of the fan. Then his mind started to talk. Work, bills, messages, problems. His heart felt a little fast. His stomach felt tight. He did not want to move. He wanted to stay under the blanket and disappear for a few more minutes. Daniel turned his head and looked at his phone on the table. It was close. It was always close. He could almost hear it calling him. He reached out his hand. He wanted to check the time. He wanted to see new messages. He wanted to know what people wanted from him today. He thought, if I look now, I will be ready. But he also knew the truth. When he checked his phone too early, he felt worse. One message could make his whole morning heavy. One small problem could become a big fear. Daniel stopped his hand in the air. He took a slow breath, but it was not easy. His breath felt short, like his chest was full. He closed his eyes again. He thought about yesterday. Yesterday morning was the same. He woke up, checked his phone, and felt stress right away. He read work messages. He read bad news. He saw other people's lives. His mind became noisy. His face became tired. He rushed. He forgot breakfast. He ran out the door, and the whole day felt hard. He did not want that again. Daniel opened his eyes and looked at the ceiling. "Why do I feel like this every morning?" he whispered. He did not have a clear answer. He only knew he felt tired even before the day started. He slowly sat up. His back felt stiff. His shoulders felt heavy. He rubbed his eyes and looked around his small apartment. There were clean cups on the table. There was a chair near the window. There was a simple clock on the wall. Everything looked normal. But inside, Daniel did not feel normal. He felt like a storm was coming, even if the sky was clear. Daniel put his hands on his knees. He took one more breath. This time it was a little slower. Then a memory came to his mind. It was his grandma. She was not a loud person. She spoke softly. She moved slowly. When Daniel was a child, he loved mornings at her house. The kitchen smelled like warm rice and tea. The window was bright, and his grandma always looked calm. One time he asked her, "Grandma, why are you always calm?" She smiled and touched his head. She said, "I do not start my day in a hurry. I start my day with peace." Daniel remembered her words clearly. He also remembered one small rule she had. She said, "Before you talk to the world, talk to your own heart." When Daniel was young, he did not understand. Now he did. Daniel looked at his phone again. He thought, my phone is the world. It was work, news, people, and noise. And his heart was quiet, but it needed time. He took another breath. He did not pick up the phone. Instead, he did something new. He put the phone face down. It was a small action, but it felt strong. Daniel sat still for a moment. He listened to the quiet room again. He said to himself, "Just for this morning, I will try." He did not need a perfect morning. He did not need a big change. He only needed one small step, and this was his first step.
Daniel sat on the edge of the bed. He kept his phone face down on the table. He did not touch it. He looked at it for 1 second, then looked away. "Not now," he said quietly. He placed both feet on the floor. The floor felt cool. It woke his body a little. He sat up straight, but not too straight. He relaxed his shoulders. He let his hands rest on his knees. He tried to breathe slowly. At first, it was hard. His mind still wanted to run. It wanted to plan the day. It wanted to worry. But Daniel did not fight his mind. He only gave his mind one simple job. Just breathe, he told himself. He took a slow breath in through his nose. 1, 2, 3. Then he breathed out through his mouth. 1, 2, 3. He did it again. In, 1, 2, 3. Out, 1, 2, 3. After 5 breaths, something changed. Not everything, but something. His chest felt a little lighter. His hands felt warmer. His jaw relaxed. He looked around the room again. The apartment was still the same. The chair was still by the window. The cups were still on the table. The clock still ticked softly. But Daniel's eyes felt different. He was not looking like a person running. He was looking like a person waking up. He turned his head toward the window. A small line of light came through the curtains. It was not bright yet, but it was there. Daniel watched the light. He did not think about anything for a moment. He only watched. He heard a car pass outside. He heard a bird. He heard the fan. The world was moving, but it was not loud. He breathed again. Then he remembered another simple thing his grandma did. She always drank water in the morning. Water first, she used to say. Wake your body gently. Daniel stood up. He walked to the kitchen. He moved slowly. He did not rush. He did not run. He did not look at his phone. In the kitchen, he took a glass from the shelf. He filled it with water. The sound of the water was soft and clean. He held the glass with both hands and took a small sip. The water felt cool in his mouth. It went down slowly. He took another sip, then another. After a few sips, his stomach felt calmer. His throat felt less dry. His head felt a little clearer. He leaned against the counter and looked at the sink. There were a few dishes, but not many. He did not feel angry about them. He did not feel guilty. Today was not about being perfect. Today was only about being calm. Daniel took one more slow breath. He looked back toward the bedroom. His phone was still on the table, face down. He smiled a little. It was a small smile, but it was real. He thought, this is only 5 breaths and 1 glass of water. He thought, this is not magic. But he also thought, I feel better. Daniel walked back to the bed and sat again. He touched his chest lightly, like he was checking his own heart. His heart was still beating, but it was not running. He said to himself, maybe I can start slow. He did not know what the day would bring. He did not know what problems would come. But for the first time in many mornings, he felt one quiet thing inside him. He felt space, just a little space, enough to breathe, enough to stand up and begin the day without fear. And that was a very good start.
Daniel stood up and walked to the bathroom. He moved slowly, like he was carrying something fragile. He did not want to break the calm feeling. It was small, but it was precious. In the bathroom, he turned on the sink. Water came out with a soft sound. He put his hands under the water. It was cool. He cupped the water and splashed it on his face. Once, twice. The cool water woke him up. His eyes opened wider. His skin felt fresh. He looked at himself in the mirror. His hair was messy. His face looked tired. But his eyes looked calmer than before. Daniel did not talk to himself in a harsh way. He did not say, "You look bad." He only said, "It's okay. You are waking up." He brushed his teeth.
He kept the movements simple and slow. He listened to the small sound of the brush. When he was done, he washed his face again. Then he took a short shower. He did not make the water very hot. He kept it warm and comfortable. He let the water fall on his shoulders. It felt like a small reset. For a moment, he did not think about work. He did not think about messages. He only felt the water and listened to it. After the shower, Daniel dried his hair with a towel. He put on clean clothes. Nothing special, just a soft shirt and simple pants. He did not try to look perfect. He only wanted to feel comfortable. Daniel walked back to the bedroom. The room looked quieter now. The light from the window was brighter. Morning was coming. He looked at his bed. The blanket was messy. The pillow was not straight. Usually, Daniel would leave the bed like that. He would think, I don't have time. But today, he wanted one small win. He wanted his room to look calm, too. He pulled the blanket up. He straightened the sheets. He placed the pillow at the top. It took less than 1 minute, but when he stepped back, the bed looked clean and simple. Daniel felt something inside his chest again, a small feeling of control. He walked to the window. He took the curtains in his hands and opened them. Light filled the room. Not bright sunlight yet, but soft morning light. Daniel opened the window a little. Fresh air came in. It was cool, and it smelled like the outside. He breathed in and felt his lungs open. He heard the city again, but it did not sound scary. It sounded normal. Cars, a distant voice, a bird, life. Daniel stood near the window and stretched. He lifted his arms above his head. He stretched his fingers. He rolled his shoulders slowly. Then he stretched his neck gently, left and right. He did not force it. He did not rush it. He said, 1 minute is enough. He reached down and touched his knees. He felt his back loosen a little. He stood up again. His body felt warmer now. His shoulders did not feel as hard. Daniel looked at his phone on the table. It was still face down. He did not feel afraid of it now. He felt like he had time. He felt like he had a choice. He could pick it up later. But first, he wanted to keep his body calm. He walked back to the kitchen. On the way, he noticed something small. The floor was clean. The wall was simple. The apartment was quiet. It was not a big place, but it was his place. And today, he wanted to take care of it in a gentle way. As Daniel walked, he thought about his grandma again. She used to say, "A calm day starts with a calm body." Daniel did not fully understand her when he was young, but now he understood. When his body was calm, his mind became calmer too. He was still worried about the day, but he was not stuck. He was moving, and he was moving with care. This morning, Daniel was not trying to win the whole day. He was only making one quiet space inside himself, one breath, one clean face, one made bed, one open window, 1 minute of stretching. Small actions, but together they were building something strong, a calm body, a calmer start.
Daniel stood in the kitchen and looked at the small counter. He did not want a big breakfast. He did not want to cook many things. He only wanted something simple and warm. He took 2 eggs from the fridge. He took 2 slices of bread. He turned on the pan and waited. While he waited, he listened to the quiet morning sounds, the fan in the other room, a car outside, a soft tick from the clock. Daniel felt calm enough to enjoy these small sounds. The pan became warm. He cracked the first egg, then the second. He watched the eggs change in the pan. The white part turned solid, the yellow part stayed bright. He did not rush. He did not look at his phone. He only watched and waited. When the eggs were ready, he turned off the stove. He put the eggs on a plate. He toasted the bread and placed it next to the eggs. He carried the plate to the table. Daniel sat down. He did not stand and eat. He did not walk around. He sat. This was important. He wanted his mind to learn a new message. You have time. Daniel took a bite of toast. He chewed slowly. The food tasted simple, but it felt good. He took a sip of water. He looked at the window. The sky was lighter now. Morning had truly arrived. As Daniel ate, he noticed something. His mind was still active. Thoughts still came. What if my boss is angry? What if there is a problem today? What if I make a mistake? But the thoughts did not feel as strong as before. They felt like small clouds. They came and then they moved. Daniel finished his breakfast and washed his plate. He moved slowly like before. Then he walked to a small shelf near the wall. On the shelf there was a notebook and a pen. He brought the notebook months ago, but he rarely used it. Today he wanted to use it. He sat at the table again. He opened the notebook. The pages were clean and empty. Daniel held the pen. For a moment he did not know what to write. He was not a writer. He did not want to write a long journal. He only wanted to guide his mind, something simple. He remembered a feeling from his grandma's house. A calm morning had gentle words, not loud words, not angry words, gentle words. Daniel wrote one short line, then another, then one more. He wrote, 1. Today I will go step by step. 2. I will speak kindly to myself. 3. I will do one important thing. He read the lines again. They were easy words, but they felt strong. Daniel placed his hand on the notebook. He looked at the words and breathed, step by step, kindly, one important thing. These words felt like a small map for the day. Daniel thought about his old mornings. He used to wake up fast. He used to run. He used to try to do everything at once. Then he felt tired, and he felt like a failure. But today he did not need to do everything. He only needed to do one thing well. Daniel looked around his apartment. The bed was made. The window was open. Light filled the room. The air felt fresh. Daniel suddenly felt something he did not feel often. He felt peace. Not a big peace, not a perfect peace, but a quiet peace, like a calm lake. Daniel smiled again. He touched the notebook lightly. He said, I can do this. Then he stood up and walked to his phone. It was still face down. He picked it up. For a moment he felt a small fear, but he looked at the notebook and remembered the words, step by step. He unlocked the phone. He did not open everything. He did not jump into news or social media. He only checked what he needed. He looked at the time. He looked at 2 work messages. Nothing scary, nothing urgent. Daniel put the phone down again. He was surprised. He thought he would feel stress right away, but he did not, because his mind was already in a calmer place. He had eaten slowly. He had written gentle words. He had given his mind a new start. Daniel took one more deep breath. He whispered, calm first. Then he grabbed his bag. He was ready to leave, not as a person running, but as a person walking forward, slowly, steadily, and with a gentle mind. Daniel stepped outside and closed the door behind him. The hallway was quiet. The air was cooler than inside his apartment. He walked toward the stairs and went down slowly. Outside, the street was waking up. Cars moved, people walked fast, a motorbike passed by. Someone talked on the phone with a loud voice. Daniel felt the old feeling try to come back. His chest tightened a little. His mind whispered, hurry, hurry, hurry. He stopped for 1 second. He placed one hand on his stomach. He took one slow breath in. 1, 2, 3. Then he breathed out. 1, 2, 3. The tight feeling became smaller. Daniel began to walk again. He did not need to be the fastest person on the street. He only needed to arrive. As he walked, his phone started to vibrate in his pocket. One message, then another, then another.
Daniel could feel the vibration like small taps. Tap, tap, tap. His old habit wanted to win. Check now, his mind said. What if it is important? Daniel took out his phone and looked at the screen. He saw many notifications, work messages, a group chat, a news alert. His heart beat faster again. For a moment, he wanted to open everything, but he remembered his notebook. Step by step. Daniel said quietly, one thing first. He looked at the messages and chose only one. A message from his coworker, Mia. It said, Daniel, the meeting is moved earlier. Please come at 9. Daniel looked at the time. It was 8:35. He still had time, but not much. The old stress tried to rise again. He could feel it like a wave. He wanted to panic. He wanted to think, this is going to be a bad day. But he did not say that. He breathed once more. Slow in, slow out. Then he said to himself, it's okay, I can do this. He started to walk faster, but he did not run. He went to the bus stop and waited. The bus came, but it was full. People pushed and moved quickly. Daniel felt the stress again. He felt his shoulders become hard. He felt his jaw tighten. He wanted to push too. He wanted to fight for space. But he stopped. He took one breath. He stepped back and waited for the next bus. 2 minutes later, another bus came. This one had space. Daniel got on and found a small place to stand. He held the bar and looked out the window. The city moved past him. Shops, signs, people, morning light. Daniel's phone vibrated again. More messages came. He did not open them. He told himself, not now. He looked at the window and breathed. The bus stopped near his office. Daniel got off and walked to the building. When he entered, he saw Mia near the desk. Her face looked worried. Daniel, she said quickly, we have a problem. The report is missing. The boss wants it now. Daniel felt his stomach drop. The old fear returned fast. His mind shouted, this is bad, this is bad. His hands became cold. For 1 second, Daniel wanted to say, I can't, I'm not ready. But he saw Mia's eyes. She needed help. Daniel took one slow breath. He remembered the 3 lines in his notebook. Step by step. Kindly, one important thing. He looked at Mia and spoke calmly. Okay, he said, let's do one thing first. Where did you last see the report? Mia blinked. She seemed surprised by Daniel's calm voice. I don't know, she said. Maybe on the shared folder. Daniel nodded. Let's check the folder together. They went to Daniel's computer. Mia stood next to him. Daniel opened the shared folder. There were many files. He did not rush. He did not click wildly. He did not complain. He looked carefully. File names, dates, versions. Then he saw it. Report_final_2. He clicked it. The report opened. Mia breathed out loudly. Oh, it's here, she said. I missed it. Daniel smiled a little. It's okay, we found it. Mia looked at him. How are you so calm? She asked. Daniel did not know how to explain everything. He only said, I started my morning slowly. Mia nodded like she understood. She took the report and ran to the meeting room. Daniel sat down at his desk. He felt his heart still beating. But he also felt something else. He felt steady. The problem was real. The stress was real. But he did not break. He handled it. One breath, one step, one important thing at a time. Daniel looked at the time. It was still morning, and he knew something important now. The calm routine was not only for quiet mornings, it was for real life. It was for moments like this.
That evening, Daniel returned home later than usual. The day felt long. There were meetings, emails, and small problems. Some things went well, some things did not. But Daniel noticed something important. He did not lose himself. He did not explode. He did not panic and run in circles. He stayed steady. When Daniel opened the door to his apartment, the room was quiet again. The same chair by the window, the same small table, the same clock on the wall. Daniel placed his bag on the chair and took off his shoes. He stood still for a moment. He listened to the quiet. Then he let out a long breath. He walked to the kitchen and poured a glass of water. He drank slowly, like he did in the morning. The water felt good. Daniel sat down at the table. His body was tired. His legs felt heavy. His eyes felt warm, like they wanted to close. But inside, he felt something calm. Not a perfect calm, not a calm that lasts forever, but a calm that felt real. Daniel looked at the notebook on the shelf. He took it and opened it. He saw the 3 lines he wrote in the morning. 1. Today I will go step by step. 2. I will speak kindly to myself. 3. I will do one important thing. Daniel smiled. He remembered the moment at work when Mia said, "We have a problem." He remembered his chest getting tight. He remembered wanting to panic. And then he remembered his breath. One slow breath. One step. He looked down at the notebook and whispered, "It worked." Daniel thought about the old Daniel, the Daniel from last week. That Daniel woke up with fear. That Daniel checked his phone too early. That Daniel ran all day. That Daniel went to bed feeling empty and angry. But today was different. Today was still hard. The world did not become easy. Work did not become quiet. People did not stop asking for things. But Daniel changed one thing. He changed how he started. And because of that, he changed how he responded. Daniel leaned back in his chair and closed his eyes. He pictured his grandma again. He could almost see her in the kitchen making tea. He could almost hear her soft voice. "A calm day starts with small steps," she used to say. Daniel opened his eyes. He looked around his apartment. He thought, "Small steps. I can do that." He did not need a big plan. He did not need a perfect life. He only needed a simple routine that helped his heart feel safe. Daniel stood up and walked to the sink. He washed his cup. He wiped the table. He did not clean everything. He only did a little. Then he walked to the bedroom. He looked at the bed. In the morning, he made the bed. Now, before sleep, he wanted to prepare for tomorrow. He picked up a clean cup and placed it on the kitchen counter. He put the notebook and pen on the table, ready. He filled a glass of water and covered it with a small plate so it would stay clean. He placed his phone on the table in the living room, not next to the bed, not close to his hand. He looked at it and said softly, "Tomorrow morning you can wait." Daniel changed into comfortable clothes. He washed his face again with cool water. He brushed his teeth. Then he turned off the bright lights and left one small lamp on. The room looked warm and calm. Daniel sat on the bed and took one slow breath. He felt his body relax. He felt his shoulders soften. He felt his mind slow down. He thought about tomorrow. Tomorrow would have problems too. Tomorrow would have messages too. Tomorrow would have moments that tested him again. But Daniel did not feel afraid like before. He knew he had a tool. Not a big tool, not an expensive tool, a simple tool, a calm morning routine. Daniel lay down and pulled the blanket up. He looked at the ceiling for a few seconds. Then he smiled and whispered one simple promise to himself. "Tomorrow I will start slow again." He closed his eyes. The day was done. And for the first time in a long time, Daniel felt proud. He did not become a new person. He He did not fix everything, but he stayed present. He stayed kind. He stayed steady. And that was enough to begin again.